So what I've personally never baked sourdough bread, but what is there a certain ratios now that you've come to learn after your time at Swift and Sons?
Yeah, and you can mess around a lot with those ratios, but
and how much of that is dependent on like the external factors of like the humidity in the room and all that stuff?
it's definitely it is a factor, although
like what's the 80-20 to you? Like what is the 20% that's going to give the 80% of the results? What should people be focusing on?
Just repetition.
Oh, okay.
So it's not even one of those things where you go, oh, okay, it's humid in here, I'm going to adjust that. You do, but you have to have such a depth of
good foundation
to be able to say, like, teaching people how to do sourdough is difficult in those first, when they're first new, because they're like, oh, why did we add 30 more minutes? And I'm like, it's just, I touched the dough. I've touched it a million times and I go, oh, this needs more time. It's almost like instinctual or gut feeling that.
But that comes from iterations.
It comes from doing it all the time. And so a lot of times when people ask me, like, when they are baking at home, I always say, I know it's tempting to want to try different breads, but pick one bread with this same ratio of flour and the same ratio of water and salt and starter, and just do that each time. Okay. You can do other ones besides that, but just make sure you're doing that one to see the results over the course of weeks or months.
It's got to be a similar lesson to just cooking in general, right?
It's probably in life, like, you know what I mean? Like, you do something once and you suck at it, and people go, I'm never going to do that again. Yeah. Or you go, let me see if I get better, and you do it again. You're like, I get a little better. And that's just that's how life is.
Well, that's the fun part about bread is like there's not too much at stake, right?
No, exactly. How much did that flour cost you? 45 cents?
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. It's more about the time than anything.
Right. Okay.
That's the thing, like, people get frustrated about is you spend literally all day.
I see.
It's not like in the kitchen all day. It's a lot of it's inactive time, but you do spend like all day developing this dough, getting it ready. You put it in the fridge overnight. The next day is when you bake it. And then it comes out of the oven and it sucks and you're like, but that's part of the learning, right?